I think before this video starts, a little bit of reflection on a couple of things. Firstly, this year. I kind of said this year I wanted to upload more videos, and then I didn't. Partly I blame starting a new job and sort of trying to get to grips with that, but partly I blame myself that I really need to be more on top of this. Because I like making these videos, I like getting this kind of stuff out to you, because it's genuinely interesting to certain people. The second thing I want to sort of reflect on is the fact that I've been at this for more than 5 years now, and I keep forgetting it's been that long. There's so many videos that have sort of come and gone and been taken down, or etc. But one of the few videos that's left from those really, really early days is the second video I ever uploaded, which was my Tugs collection. So I thought, you know, being the end of the year, being a time of reflection, let's look back and let's see where my Tugs collection has grown over the span of 5 years. I want to start by saying this. It's not going to be a long video, hopefully. And it's not going to be necessarily as much as you might think. There's bits and pieces. Honestly, I pick up Tugs stuff when I see it. And usually it's for a very cheap price. So I'm a little bit picky. There's been a few nice pieces I've picked up. But let's start with some of the ones that would have been here last time. Namely these guys. 10 Cents and Sunshine. Now, story behind these, I picked them up in a UK lot. It might have been 2 UK lots in about 2017, 2018. Maybe, I kind of want to say then. And I picked up those lots because these were dirt cheap. I mean, I think the lots were basically $4 Australian an engine, shipped, which was pretty good, even for the rest of the Erdls that were there. But I really looked at those lots because of these guys. Now, I did want to get these new, but I kind of missed the boat. Get it? I kind of missed the boat on them, so I never got the chance. But I'm not necessarily angry about it. Of the two, 10 Cents is definitely more rough. You can see a lot of the diecast has been wiped off the bottom. He's still got his number. He's still got his face, it swivels. You know, I still maintain these are one of the best models that Erdl ever came out with. I mean, they are just beautiful. The lack of wheels really being the only thing that kind of, I guess, makes it a bit more dated compared to the Theodore Tugboat stuff which came out afterwards, which I do quite like as well. I don't have any. I only have 1 or 2 bits. Now, Sunshine's in better condition overall, but you'll notice something weird when I flip it over. I don't know why, but the sticker for the number 7's down here and not on the funnel. A bit disappointing, but still, he's okay. Bit of chipping around the hat. That might have been here last time. These guys honestly just sit in a box most of the time. I don't really have them on display or anything. One big area that's grown since last time is books. Now, all the books that I've picked up, except maybe 1 or 2, were all picked up at op shops. So these are all from Australia. This is one of the more recent ones. This is High Winds. It's interesting. I never read this before. Oh, crap. Someone's address. Whoops. I'm not too worried because this book is from, as you can see, it was given to someone in 1992. So if they still live there, I'm sorry. Starfleet. I love these books. I think that they were some of the best non-video releases they ever... non-video sort of pieces of merch. Just because they're just so cool. I think from memory, these have the longer edits, or more in-depth stories. Yes, they do, because then he talks about this scene never happened in the episode, I don't think. These are cool, though. I love these. I really want to get the full set. But like I said, with the books and with most Tug stuff, I'm in no rush. I just pick them up when I see them. Same thing for Warrior's Longest Day. Where's the really interesting scene? Is it there? No, there it is. Quite nice books. I think I paid 30 cents a piece. And then we have OJ's Bad Day, which does remind me, I do have another Tugs book, but I don't have it here with me, so I might go try and find that. Not going to dox anyone else. This is less good. I mean, this is alright. I think definitely pales a little bit to the other ones. I'm going to see if I can find that other book. Sadly, could not find it, but what it is to be clear, is it's this. Now, this is a activity pack. Now, I don't have the Tugs version, not the full pack. The only piece I do have is the colouring book. However, I can't find it, unfortunately. I think it was only recently really discovered, and I forgot that I'd had it for a few years. Whoops. Next up, we have Buzz Books. Now, I have a fair few of these. Sadly, only one copy of 2, but I do have duplicates of all the other copies. These are probably one of the more common pieces of merchandise. I mean, I see these enough. Usually, yeah, I see them enough. You know, but Buzz Books are getting a little bit scarcer. Now, I nearly have the full Thomas set of these, but this is the full Tug set. Pretty cool. These just sit with all my other Thomas ones, but yeah, they're nice enough as they are. Alright. So what do we have? We have Treasure Hunt. So we have Kidnapped is the first one. I got 2 of them. Runagram, which is number 2. Nothing to Declare, which I have 2 of, and Treasure Hunt, which I've got 3 of. I think, sadly, my copy of number 2 is a little bit whatever. I don't know, it's not too bad. It's a little bit. Oh. You can see someone's tried to stamp it a bit. A little bit worn out. But overall, these are really cool. I'd recommend picking them up because they're quite affordable. And they're really, really nice piece of Tugs merch. Now let's get on with the tapes. Now, I want to do this in roughly chronological order as to when I picked up the tape. So let's start from the beginning. The first tape I ever got, and the Trapped Ghost High Winds Playbox tape. I might just tilt this up a little bit. This was the first tape I ever got, and it's funny, because I have the Playbox version of this, I don't actually have the full set of original UK tapes, because technically this is not the original. I have had this for years. In fact, I bought this probably 2017, back when you could still buy these on Amazon, when Amazon used to really allow, like, people really fucking put stuff on Amazon. And that's where I got most of my original tapes, was Amazon. So that was the first. Oh. The second tape I still can't quite recall. I have a feeling it was one of these 2. It was either Munitions or Sunshine Pirate, and I'm not sure which one. Again, both pretty basic UK releases. Not a lot to really report here. Again, they're just your basic UK releases. I've had these for a similar amount of time than I've had the Trap tape. I think these might have been the first 3 I got. This is the 4th of July version too. Don't have the Munitions one. I would really like the first edition of that. I quite like that white design. Number 4 was Quarantine. Again, I think these were all Amazon pickups, and this is probably in the worst condition of them all. Open it up. Yeah, pretty basic. Just your Jinxed tape. I would love to go for a full Playbox set of these. By the way, really cool. I think I paid only about $20-30 a piece, maybe 50 Australian tops. There were 2 tapes though that I could have got on Amazon but didn't. Partly because they were 100 Australian dollars each, and at that point in time I still was a relatively poor high school student, so I didn't. Right around 2019, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but I vaguely recall I was sitting in class one day at school. I was a little bit bored, and I was scrolling through eBay. And this showed up as a bid that was just about to finish. I don't even remember what the class was. All I remember was that I sat there and I waited for this thing to end, and I think I got it for about 30 Australian dollars, maybe 30 to 50 Australian dollars. And I was ecstatic because this is my favourite Tugs tape. Absolutely adore the thing. I think this is some of the best episodes. I mean, Warrior's a bit whatever, but High Tide and Big Freeze are just really brilliant. I think definitely the best tape, or at least second, if only to Sunshine Pirate, which is an absolute banger too. But love this tape, and I was really glad to pick it up. And that's where things really slowed down. I got the full set of Tugs tapes, and that was 2019, and I was pretty happy with that. Then we come to the Australian releases, and I just want to say these things actually suck to collect. Partly because they fall into one of two boats. Three boats. One, I have gotten one or two knockoffs before. It is probably not only knockoffs, more, I guess, fake tapes, ones that have been made up. Four groups, sorry. The second group is your ex-rentals. Now I have one over here that I want to show you in a second. Third group is your expensive but really nice ones. But again, I don't really want to pay $300 a tape. And the last group, the rare group, is the cheap because they don't know what they've got. And that's what this tape was. In fact, I've actually had 3 copies of Trapped Ghost High Winds. This is by far the most common Australian tape. I see this enough to not bat an eye when it comes up. Some weird stickers on these things. By the way, quite nice. I have to say, I don't watch tapes much. Simply by virtue, I just don't really watch them much. But that was about $20, $30. And so was this one. Now, this is a bit out of chronological order, but there's another Australian tape. This one's in the black box. And you can see it's slightly different labels on it. Slightly unusual. So, I think the other tape I have is more similar to that one, but I've actually sold that to an individual called Trickshotter on Twitter. The reason why I keep picking these up, again, I'll pick up a Tugs tape if it's under 40 Australian. Just if it's a Tugs tape in Australia, under $40, I'll pick it up. My second tape technically was this one. Now, I think the cover is reproduction, and I'm not 100% sure if this is a genuine one. It does have probably the right amount of tape, and it does have the label on it. It doesn't have anything up here. Could have been recased. I'm not sure. The outer jacket's definitely a reproduction. I think this cost me $60. Although it does have a sticker from what I think is a... that says Hickory Dickory Video Library. So, very likely that it's a genuine tape, but just in really, really poor condition. Next up we have, this is one of the more recent ones, now we're getting to probably the last 6 months. Sunshine Pirate, Australian tape. Similar label to one of those other ones, but you got different spool wheels. And this was a Mount Martha Video Center. Again, really nice tape. This one's in pretty good condition. And, you know, I was really happy to get this because it means that of my Australian tape collection, I only need 2 more to finish it. That being Big Freeze and, High Tide and Jinxed. Now, at the start of the video I mentioned, well, when I started talking about the tapes, I talked about another tape. A tape that I always kind of wanted. And this was a tape that I found that I could have bought on Amazon back in 2017, 2018 for $100, similar to Big Freeze, and I just passed on it because I went, you know what, I'll find it again. 8 years later, I finally got myself a copy of the Pocket Money Video VHS. This was on UK eBay, and I was shocked that no one bought it for what I thought was quite a steal, about 50 Australian dollars. Maybe it was a bit more. It might have been 70 Australian shipped. And I went, geez. It's less than I would have paid in 2017. So I snapped it up, and I've always wanted this one because I've always thought this is the most interesting Tugs tape. Obviously, partly because it's over an hour long, which is intriguing. Partly because it's just really odd, and I quite like it for that. It's a bit different. There's not much amazingly special about it. It just says Tugs on the label. But it's definitely cool to have a Tugs tape that's a bit unusual. Other than the Japanese releases, a lot of the Tugs tapes, literally all the Tugs tapes, just follow the same formula. The same 3 episodes. Even if it's an Australian, if it's even the Scandinavian ones are the same. So it's really nice to have a tape that's a bit different. And the Japanese ones are a bit different too, but I'm sorry, I'm not paying those prices for Japanese tapes. They may be worth it, I'm not going to disagree with you, but for me, I'd rather just wait until I can buy a bulk lot. So where does that leave us with my Tugs collection as of 2025, the end of 2025? Well, it brings me to having, get a little shot, 10 VHS tapes, 9 of which are unique. Selection of books, both the Buzz books as well as some of the paperbacks, the activity thing, and a couple of Ursels. And this is what a collection of, I guess, really going on nearly 8 years looks like. And I think it goes to prove something. If you're out today to get Tugs cheap, it's a slow burn process. You're going to be at it for quite a while. If you're willing to basically splurge and spend money left, right, and centre, it's quite easy. If I had spent, if I'd bought the tapes when I could have, I'd spent a decent chunk of change, I probably would have got the whole Australian set by now. There's no fun in that. There's no fun in just going out and spending $300 on a tape and going, I got it, finally. Maybe if you're down to your last one. But for me, the excitement comes more in the chase of it, of trying to find these items out in the wild. Or for cheap on Australian eBay. It doesn't happen often. When it does, it's quite rewarding. That's why I haven't gone and bought all the books yet. I know I could have. I probably should have. But really, what's the rush? These things are still filtering into op shops. They're still filtering into second-hand stores. The tapes, maybe not so much, but the books and the toys, potentially. I do want to get some Japanese stuff. I plan to look when I'm in Japan, although I don't think I'm going to be very successful, but you never know. But yeah, it's a little bit different. So, thank you for watching. If you have anything you want to see me look at, see me talk about, I do plan to talk about the new range. There's a few things I want to discuss, but I might save that for the next video. That might be the next one in the pipeline, and then we'll start looking at some other bits and pieces. So, thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.